Hey there, what is up, plant community? Green Thumb here. So, I was gonna make a video early in the morning, but I winded up and went ahead, that's how I meant to phrase that, and did some things. Since we have no more frost coming in or hard freezes, I went ahead and planted the Musa Baju because, well, why not? It's getting around that time, and I decided to go ahead and plant it. Now, I couldn't get deep enough for the cold not to get, so I'm going to have to heavily, and I mean heavily, mulch that because of this big old tree. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then I went ahead and I planted one of the species of alocasias that get these big old ears on them, these big old leaves, because I figured that'd be nice to add a nice tropical effect. Now, they might not start taking off until the ground really warms up and everything starts getting, well, just whenever things really just start taking off. I mean, right now, plants are coming out of dormancy, so yeah. And then I went ahead and got the best looking Cordyline australis. In fact, this is probably where I left off last year on mine. And I went ahead, planted that in the ground, watered it in and everything, and yeah, I should be doing amazing, especially when we get this rain that comes in, because this whole area happens to flood. And since it happens to flood, well, then yeah, I'm going to get a fence, of course. I'm going to fence it off, so this will be my little garden area. This is my garden bed right here. And what do we have over here? Well, we went ahead and planted one of my canna lilies, since, again, we have no chances of frost, because I said, you know what, why not? But I'm not going to end that there. I, of course, am going to eventually plant, whenever that grows out, not Boston, almost said Boston. No, it's not a Boston fern. It is, in fact, a Christmas fern that gives a Boston fern look that I figured would be nice in this garden bed. And then, of course, over here, I have the start to my ostrich ferns. So my ostrich ferns will take off. I'm just starting them off like this, so that way I can get them into the ground. In fact, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea, considering with all these tree roots, to go ahead and plant one in the ground now, honestly, since they have it rooted. So I might go ahead and do that, just because of the simple fact that I could have troubles with getting it in the ground later. So I may do that. Whatever. And then I, of course, it got a little beat up because I put it in the back of my grandma's vehicle. I rode my bike all the way over there originally. But I did go ahead and get another Ensete Morellii. My hope is that this guy gets big enough and I can just store it as a bulb and not really a whole plant, because that's going to be more difficult to store as a whole plant. But yeah, otherwise than that, guys, we are definitely looking a bit more tropical out here, and we are definitely looking nicer. So it's better than just seeing dirt and mud and cigarette butts everywhere. Honestly, this looks nicer and better. At least we got some green and not just dead grass within this region or this little area. Now, like I said, though, this guy probably come later. Oh, and we can't forget, too, that I did go ahead and plant the European fan palm, because as far as I know, Muncie is palmless now, and so, well,